Hey guys, how you doing? As I explained it in my Hong Kong program, then I think a lot of investors, then maybe or fund manager for US or maybe for India funds or for Japan, Taiwan, they may all have fun, right? Not for UK or Europe because their stock it doesn't rise up or not, right? But for US and for India, then for also Vietnam, right? Also Vietnam, and then for India, for Indonesia, and then Japan, and then Taiwan, then they may all be happy because they all rise up in the past 1 month only, right? Just few weeks before the Christmas, so they may have a very fruitful Christmas Eve, right? Today we will go back and see intuitive surgical, right? We've been introduced this stock for a long time already, right? Intuitive means direct feeling, right? Surgical, all we mean then is doing the operation, right? Then she's been down for about 2 years, right? So quickly, then 2 years passed by, and then she rise up a little bit, and then slow down a little bit, and then rise up sharply. Now it's nearly recovered about 85% of all the dropping, right? So we will take a look on the financial. Actually, not the financial. Is the recovery of the business situation of intuitive surgical, right? Our Falcon portfolio, and thanks for all your supporting, and actually we've been up to 93%, right? And then, but because yesterday Adobe dropped it a little bit, right? Because of the weak, not the weak performance, the weak guidance, so dropped a few, and then no matter what, then we still have 90%, right? We still have 90%, then I think that's it, right? So to me is successful, right, this year, right? So I will show you the result in a minute. So for all of you, then you can leave your comment under the YouTube or anything, then you can email to me by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. So this is our cover, and I specially pick up one free picture. That means it's free, right? No copyright. There is not showing anything about blood or showing the operation, right? You can take a look on the small monitor at the left hand side. A lot of the pictures showing that they are doing an operation, right? I know that this cannot pass through YouTube, so I especially pick up that one picture. Then you cannot see that screen, right? And you can see the Da Vinci system, right? It's a huge system, very complicated, right? You buy the system, and then you also have to buy the service, right? By only having bought the system doesn't mean that you can use it, right? Your doctors, nurse, operators then need to have intensive training before you can use that, right? Use that machine, right? So it just today is 15, then just very quick, just 1 week, then will be the Christmas and then the New Year for US, right? So it's nearly, right, something like that. So this year, Dow Jones has been rising at 12%, right? Just in the same upward, in the same increment as the Sensex, that means the India, right? So 12%, and I'm wonder then may she reach 40,000 in next year? I don't know. Maybe yes, right? Seems like that, but sorry that I don't guess, huh? And then for Nasdaq, then we can see that this year, past 1 year, then she rises at 36.55. that is more than enough, right? More than enough for everyone, because this year is really a tough year for all of us. Show you guys this one. So our portfolio performance been 90%, right? But don't forget that this portfolio is about very quickly will be, you can see that our portfolio started on 2020 January, 2020, 21, 23, 2020, 21, 22, 23. That means 4 years already, right? And then this year, then our portfolio's performance is 43%. So I put a circle to you. How does 43% come up? Yes, I marked it down at the end of 2022. The money this portfolio has, and then compare with the current portfolio value, then I can know the percentage increment or the loss, right? So Adobe, so make us decrease that 3%. Actually, yesterday we are 93%. Adobe has a very good result, right, of the third quarter, last quarter of 2023. But the guidance of 2024 is weak, right? So it happened so often does, right, in US stock. The performance may be very good, but if you have soft guidance, then you will drop 6% or 10% or 12% normally like that, right? So I will discuss Adobe on our paid channel in Hong Kong, right? So don't miss it. And for Dow Jones, then it still worry for, if included today, then maybe 4 weeks already, right? Then close more than 100 bonds, and then for the strong data, and then they are hoping for the cutting of the rates, and then Goldman said that will be on next March, right? I don't know, right? Normally, I don't guess, right? We just examine on the stocks on our portfolio to see maybe now is too early, right? But we have to keep checking on that, right? For those stocks that are too expensive, then we may reduce it, right? Dump out a little bit, right? If for those that is good stock, then we may buy a bit, right? So we'll see. We go for some headlines, right? China reports, right, today on the 15th, the fastest industrial expansion in nearly 2 years, right? No matter what, then it's not fast enough, because 1 year before today, 12 is very, very weak, right? I circled it for you, so it's more easy for you to look at. So the China's industrial output grows 6.6% in November from 1 year earlier, right? That means 1 year before is still just recover, just reopen, right? Just reopen, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. So 6.6 is quite weak, right? And the retail sales climbed 10.1% in November, also compared to 1 year before, but also very weak. Because in 1 year before, the retail sales grow 7.6 in November. That means it's only 2.7%, right? It's very weak, right? And then the China's urban unemployment rate then stay at 5% in November. They keep on saying that, right? And then Hong Kong also surged 3%, leading the gains in Asia market, right? So please, right? Please pay attention to my Hong Kong channels. Then I'll explain why. Then it surged 3%, right? I'll explain why it surged 3%, right? This is quite political. I don't want to speak here, right? So watch my Hong Kong channel, please, right? And then Amazon, then they now actually in the past a lot of China merchants then they are doing the business in Amazon, right? But they are now, right? They changed the base to Temu and then Shein. Temu is one of the higher rank version of Taobao, and then Shein is for very big, but the garments for apparel is very cheap, right? And they changed their platform from Amazon to Temu, right? Then because Amazon is retrieving out from China, so that's what it is, huh? It doesn't matter, right? They choose the platform by themselves, right? And then Intel has good news. Then she has developed two quite advanced chips for AI. One is called Gordia 3 for AI software, and another one is called Core Ultra chips for Windows laptop and PC, right? Then it fits with the new 5th generation Xeon and server chips, something like that, right? So we'll take a look on that, right? Then what they're spotting is on NVIDIA and AMD, right? So they want to take some business part from NVIDIA and AMD, and then we'll see how their chips goes. Normally, then you just have one prototype. It's no use, right? Then you have to put into the bulk production and then put onto the computer and see then what it is, right? And for EU, right? So this is a big budget, right? For 50 billion. 50 billion now is a big number for Europe. A package for UK, but sorry, then it's being. They want to do that, but I think that the 50 billion is too much for them. So they will renegotiation on the budget. All of us know that now US has some problem on the Congress, right? And then maybe US may not be supporting UK in the same degree as before. And then now EU is start to be scared, right? Because then take up the map, you'll see that Ukraine is next to Romania and then Poland. If she falls, that means Putin goes to Ukraine. No matter what, no matter Ukraine is falling apart, right? And then there is Russia at the top of that. And then if Putin, no matter what, no matter Ukraine is falling apart, Putin can go into Ukraine. That means Russia get a better land, right? A better resources, and then stay very, very close to EU, just next to them, right? So Ukraine cannot fail, and then they start to scare just till this moment, right? The war been happened nearly 2 years. But just because US has some problem on the financing, and then they start to scare, right? So this is EU, right? They're very selfish for these companies, right? For these countries, right? Very, very selfish. And short-sighted as well. But in the contrary, you can see that for the Congress of US passed that, wow, big amount, 886 billion US defense policy bill. Wow, this is a very, very big amount, right? You can see that it's billion of US dollar, right? So it's amazing, right? For China and for Russia, and then maybe for the central of Middle East, right? And then European Union now they agree to open the membership talk with Ukraine. So you will see that, right? They feel that there is danger coming to Europe, so they do everything, right? So at the very beginning, because US is doing their job, so sorry, then we're not going to this subject, because if Ukraine become a member of the EU, oh, sorry, then we have to be involved, right? But now if US fail, then they have to have an excuse to help the Ukraine, and then please be one of our member, so I can have the excuse to help you, right? So this is politics, right? Very short-sighted for EU, very short-sighted for those countries, including Germany, France. Then I know UK is not, right, but also UK, a lot of the country, right, in EU. Okay, we go into intuitive surgical. We take a look on the stock price first, right? This is the all-time, right? You can see that it been dropped quite sharply, right? Not in 2020. 2020 it dropped a little bit and then rised, wow, to 380 something, right? 380 something, and then it dropped it to lower than 200, and then it goes up, but because of the putting up of the interest rate, and then you go down, go up, and then go down and go up. Right now, you can see that it's 326.18 for the stock price, and the highest one is just about for 1 year 358, right? Just about 10%. It rebounded more than double, and the market cap is 114.8 billion US dollar, and then you can see the PE ratio is 76. So the 5 years stock chart compared to 1 year, they are similar, right? They are similar. That means if you look at this chart, then you will see that then she will still have the upward trend. You can see that, right? The upward trend is still there, right? Then in the past 5 years, she also brings to the shareholders more than the double, 119% of the reward on the stock price. And then in the past 1 year, so difficult, right, for past 1 year. And then she also still has 22% increment for the shareholders or the investors. And this is for those machines. This is just by the picture. Actually, that system is huge, right? The size is like a room, very, very big. And then quickly, I'll circle for you, right? Then for the Da Vinci system is for urology. That means for men's. Gynecology, that means for women, then very important, right? And then for general surgery, right? Then help you to use the Da Vinci system to do something that to avoid that the shaking of the hands, right? And then the human. And I introduced it before, that machinery may need 2 doctors to operate at the same time, right? So you have to buy the machinery and then to learn and to have the supply, have the support from ISRG continuously throughout the year, right? So you can see that then for past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? Even though there is in the pandemic, then you can see that the demand of that Da Vinci system only a little bit fat when the COVID-19 comes out 2020, and then it goes up again, right? And the CACR, that means the compound increment is 15%, right? Compound increment is 15%. This is more obvious, right? For the dark blue one, then is the you buy the instrument, accessory, surface, blah blah blah, something like that, right? Or you may be renting, right? You may be renting because the machine is very expensive. You may be renting from ISRG, and the light blue one is for you buy the system. You buy the system or the lease, right? So you can see that in the past many years, only 1 year then it's dropping is 2020 because of the COVID-19. all the others is going up. Then why is dropping? Why during COVID-19 is dropping? Because then they have to pay attention and then to save the patient that have the COVID-19, right? And then all the others delayed it. Urology, some of them can be delayed, right? Gynecology is also can be delayed for some time, right? It's not killing. It's not like cancer, right? Maybe half year or something like that, right? So you can see that in the past so many years, only at 2020, it drops. Right after 2020, goes up and then goes up again. The result is not bad because 2020, 2022, the increment is normal. So you can see that for 2023, the third quarter, procedural growth, right? That means not buying the machine, right? You're getting the surface, you're getting the spare part instruments from them, right? 19%, quite good, right? Da Vinci installed base system growth, 13%, also good, right? And that system pays the 312, right? Quite all right, right? And you can have that app, right? Now then, you can install the app. I think that's for the doctor. That's for the doctor. Then you can register on the app, and then you can apply for want to take that training, something like that. Then of course you need to pay, right? So we take a quick look on the figures, right? This report is till September 30, end of September, right? That means July, August, and then September of this year, right? 3 months compared to 1 year, the same quarter before. So the total revenue is 1.7 billion US dollar compared to 1.55. That's okay, right? And then the net income, 419 million US dollar compared to 324 million US dollar 1 year before. And the net profit margin is about 28. And then the diluted earnings per share is also increased by 28%. That means 1.16 compared to 1 year before, 0.9. This is okay to me, right? You can see that I put a very big tick for the balance sheet because she has no debts, right? You can see that the current asset, 8.9 billion US dollar, right? And then you can only see that the other long-term liability, right, 412 million US dollar, right? And the total liability is 2 billion US dollar compared to only the current asset, 8.9 billion US dollar. So she has what? She has no debts, right? Excellent, right? And then for the cash provided by the operating activity is 1.5 billion US dollar compared to 1 year before. Of course, it's okay. I know that a lot of people saying that she is being threatened, right, by Medtronic and then also by JJ, right, on the similar kind of system, right, but not the case, right? You can see that she still have a strong growth, right? We know that a lot of people, especially now the population is older and older, they will have this kind of disease, right? We know that for urology is for elder people, right? And then the other one is also for elder women. So the market size is growing, right? This is not a good news, right? This is not a good news, right? Because the older people is getting more and more, right? So the market is growing bigger. No matter it's Medtronic, no matter is ISRG or JJ, right? They have different system on that, right? So the market is big enough, and is still expanding to contain two or fear of those monopoly, right? So this is very important. Then the stock we buy must have some privilege over some specific area, and that area is going to be used by a lot of the population in the world, right? Otherwise, then it's no use, right, for you to buy them. So the PE ratio 76.81, is it high? Yes. Why? Because the net income growth is just 20%, something like that. But if audience remember well, then she always have a very big PE, very high PE, right? Maybe something like 90, and it may be 50, right? But when the stock price dropped it quite a lot, right? Maybe at the lowest point, right? Something like you can see that not down to 220 something. That maybe at the time is 50, right? But you won't buy it, right? So I'm not worried about them, right? As long as she still has the monopoly and then the recovery is good, I think that's a good stock, right? So pay attention to that, right? Keep an close eyes on ISRG, right? And our channel as well. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and then please give us a like, comment, share, and then subscribe please, and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is new video uploaded, then you will be informed. So happy Friday everyone. Then I hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you guys next Friday. Bye bye.